Now it's time for more third ear, my good guy.
Is it time for more
It's been
third
a
ear?
while, Bubba.
Daryl, is it more time for third ear? It's time for third ear. Welcome back to the podcast. You like that?
And then in this podcast of third ear,
Can we just keep it normal, please, guys?
Sorry.
Well, we have Ayer. But before we bring Ayer here today,
Yes.
we have our beautiful and wonderful co-host. His name is the Upstate.
It's the downstage.
He's also known as the
Mr.
Tone
Tone
Smith.
Yeah.
Beautiful?
Yeah.
I don't know,
You never heard a
Tone.
grown man call another grown man
I don't know,
beautiful?
Tone. I don't know, Tone.
I have.
You got to be comfortable with your
Femininality.
My
no,
Okay,
not his femininality.
Look, we only have an hour for
Yeah.
this,
Oh,
so can we just
yeah.
continue
We
on?
can talk about me more. It's fine. I don't mind.
How was your weekend, Tone?
And no, and actually invite our guest star.
Oh,
Yeah, but we'll try to catch up with Tone first,
onto
get his
the
weekend
sta-
going.
to the
But
stage.
yeah,
You're right.
My weekend was great. Halloween was fun. Hung out with my nieces. They dressed as fun stuff. And
Perfect.
Ayer can wait a minute. He's in the future anyway.
yeah,
Right,
he's in
yeah.
the future.
No, he's in the future. Okay, he's so tired. He's in the future.
Right,
So
yeah.
can we bring him in, please,
Bring him in.
guys?
Let's hear from him.
Go ahead, bring in Ayer.
Bring in the Air Slayer. It's like the air is the slayer of air. Air
Slayer.
I don't know where I'm going with that shit. But it sounds really good.
Apparently, it sounded good, Air.
Yep.
And Ayer may or may not have invented glasses where you can physically see the air around you. So hey, I'm just saying,
Okay.
right? I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm
It's just-
I'm not too sure about that one.
Well, he's got the brains to do it. Daryl, don't
he
steal it from that man.
Ayer's the man that'll take you to McDonald's and he'll
Yeah.
complicate the whole goddamn
Right.
menu.
So Tone, your niece had a Halloween costume that you said earlier before we went live. What was the costume?
My younger niece was a unicorn.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, unicorn. Okay.
Blue sparkly hair, horn and everything.
Yeah.
The older one was a witch, which is typical,
I mean, that's the most perfect Halloween.
It's not
She,
cliche. It's
she said
classic.
she was doing it in honor of Teresa because I'm pretty sure she thinks my wife
Teresa's
is
a
an
witch?
actual witch.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Do you
I
or do
don't
you
know if
not?
that's good or bad.
Yeah.
Do you or do you not have a basement, Tone?
yeah.
Have a
And
baby.
does she cook in a big boiling
Better
pot?
question is, does she have a basement
Yeah.
that Tone doesn't know about?
Yeah.
Ayer, your kids, were they dressed up for Halloween this weekend?
Not quite. They were themed. So Penelope was Penelope's birthday on Halloween. So she was themed as a dinosaur because she loves dinosaurs. So she just turned 3 this year.
Oh, that's
Happy
fun.
birthday, Penelope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
happy birthday.
Penelope.
And we had her birthday party as a barbecue outside in one of the parks at the moment on Saturday.
Nice.
So that'll be Friday, your time.
Yeah, right?
In the past.
Yeah, because,
Yeah, she just turned 3 and pretty much wrecked from cooking all of that stuff and having kids running around the park and keeping an eye on them and all that sort of stuff. So
Isn't that a job in its own? Like,
bet.
geez.
But also, how does it feel to be in the future? Like, that must be
Yeah.
really tiring for the kids. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
the
I know
kids
it's tiring
care.
for me, and I'm in the past.
the kids don't care; they just have infinite energy until they don't.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Then they sleep
Right.
well.
Well,
Shit.
well, Tone Smith has the best kids because he could just exchange his or just turn them in.
Yeah, they're
Like,
not
give
even
my
kids.
nieces
they're
back when I'm
them.
done.
Yeah, just like,
yeah,
here.
when he's done, it's like,
Yeah.
go get out of here.
Tone has Costco kids.
Yeah, he does.
It's
You can
easy to
return it whenever.
Very
Yeah.
easy to return.
You don't even need a receipt.
You don't.
Yeah. Okay, with that said, let's get started, and we're going to play the first track from Ayer. And it is, let me just cue it up real quick. Sorry. I'm still in the past.
Yeah.
I'm not in the
You
future
got to
with
catch up to that Aussie time.
Hard-
Yeah.
It's hard to live that dual life. That
Time
That
is a
Right?
flat
That
circle,
duality.
guys.
Yeah.
And this is actually one of your favorite tracks.
Yes.
I've
my
corrected,
absolute
right?
favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Raiders of Kibaran.
All righty, here we go.
Yeah. So for me, that particular track, it had that landscape that is it the planet Arrakis from Dune,
Oh, yeah,
It had that Arrakis like vibe for me. It had like what I guess what you're portraying, nukes going to a planet, but for me it was just like that spice trade, the what you would hear on that sand planet, you know? And that's the vibe that I got from it. I'm curious to know when you work, like what's your workstation like and what's like how do you start with your workflow? What do you use as far as instruments or gadgetry wise?
So when I started this, which is about 2024, 23, 24, I just had a hydrosynth and a Syntact, and I didn't know how to use either of them.
And that's how you start.
Yeah.
That's how you start, right?
Right.
Yeah, because you don't buy a machine because you know how to use it.
it.
You buy
Yeah,
a machine
right.
to learn how to use it.
Right. Yeah.
That's right. And originally the intent was to make a game. Like I was just going to make a simple play game, you know, and just have some simple tune. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but I got more addicted to making the music than I actually did about making a game. Because I do software engineering for work, and so it was different enough for me to just go, you know what, I can't be bothered doing another working on another piece of software.
Right.
But in at the moment, what I tend to do is I normally have the DAW ready. If it's not running all the time, it's always on the workstation running. At the moment, I just recently switched to Cubase because I was using Ableton originally. Now, I have no particular complaints against Live. It's just that the majority of the workflow I'm stuck on the arrangement view, not necessarily the clip view. But my main kvetch about it was the fact that it takes about a minute to 3 minutes to load one of my templates, particularly for Cyberpunk or anything like it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so if I have to restart or anything like it, it's like now I sit there waiting, looking at the beach ball spin for like.
Yeah.
But really, is it
extended period of time.
crazy? Like, I can just imagine what Air is uploading. Like,
Yeah.
put it in there. Like, Ableton's like, nah, we can't do
we
this.
ain't doing that
Nah,
project.
nope.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty loaded, and the reason why I do it that way is just to minimize the amount of exploration time I have to look for. Oh, I want to look for this preset. Oh, I want to look for this thing I did before, or I want to do this thing. I just have it all ready there, ready to go. And if I want to use it, I can use it. If I want to add something else, I can just add something else. But otherwise, it's just I have a template which contains pretty much not everything, but a large variety of things that I would use. And if I want to go looking for a specific sound, then I go surfing for it rather than starting the other way around where I have a blank canvas and I have nothing and I have to then go recall and work out what I've done or, rebuild the entire signal chain all over again.
Awesome. Tony, you have any questions or comments? Of this
Yeah, a
last
couple
song?
things. That song, I also got the Dune vibes.
Yeah.
And I noticed two things about it that I thought specifically interesting. Is there an actual bass guitar on that track? Or is that a samples or a synth of some kind that just really sounds like one?
It's samples.
Okay.
It came from that movie pack. And I think I stuffed it up, and that's what makes it even more weird. Because I think it's supposed to be like a set instrumentation. So like those.
Okay.
But what I did is I put an arpeggiator on it, and that broke it, and so it made it sound like that.
Yeah, it sounds like an overdriven bass guitar playing with a pick, and I immediately was like, "Oh, is he playing bass on that?"
Yeah,
That's what I thought
got
as well.
that too.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool. I've always tried to figure out how to make a synth sound like that kind of bass guitar sound. It's really not an easy sound design thing to do. I've been trying for years. Anyway, You mentioned Return of the Jedi. I think it's really funny. I was about 5 years old, and it was on HBO, and my dad sat me down. It was like just starting. My dad sat me down on the couch and was like, watch this.
Yeah.
And I've been a huge fan ever since.
I think a lot of parents did that with kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Such a big movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially at that time, nothing was like it. I'm also a huge sci-fi nerd, so I like all the discussion of it. Have you played, because I have not played Stellaris, have you tried No Man's Sky?
Yes, I did. I played it original when it first came out, when
Yeah, me
everybody
too.
trashed the
When it was not
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Sean Murray didn't have the best of days.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
But to be honest on them, they really did turn the game around.
Oh,
I have.
yeah.
I started
for
playing it again recently. It's been crazy. It's
Oh,
the updates
I
they
didn't know
made.
you
It's
were
wonderful
on,
now.
on too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've gone through 36 updates or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hello
Crazy.
Games really did a great job.
Yeah.
Since-
Yeah, they and I thought just to add, they did a good job, and and to commend them on their part, they did this at their own expense.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Right.
Oh,
most
yeah.
companies would charge you,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you want the better experience, you got to pay us money. No, they just
Right.
like, no.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you messed up with the first time, so they can pay you to make it better.
Hello
Yeah.
Games is legit. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so let's play the next track, which is, I'm probably going to butcher this last name. Attack on Dulce. Is that right, Ayer?
It's correct. I mean, but it's an American city.
Oh.
Well, just because it's an American city
Don't
doesn't mean
mean
they
it's gonna-
pronounce it properly.
You know, Americans
Yeah,
like to short
come on
change
now.
shit all over.
Yeah.
It is
We got to
Dulce.
pronounce it correctly.
They still call Du Bois in Wyoming
Yeah,
Du
Du
Bois,
Bois.
and it's Du Bois. So good luck with that.
Don't
Yeah.
trust us with
Yeah.
pronunciation.
Please don't.
Please. Please.
Okay, so Dulce.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go.
let's talk about your idea of how you're actually going. Do you let your imagination run wild before you get into the program? Like, is there? It seems like there's a story before the music with you every time because it's so cohesive.
Generally, the better songs, yes.
Right.
um, I normally try to, I like if you look at some of my older stuff. It sounds like I've got a massive collection of work. I don't. Like I've got a range, I think, on SoundCloud called Etudes, which is basically just me learning how to do things. And sometimes those are just basically me doing things for the sake of the tone and, like, just experimenting with different techniques, that sort of thing,
Right.
and just learning how to do things. But when I'm trying to when I'm trying to have an idea for a track, I generally want to have a visual guide, as visual and a description of what I'm trying to aim for, a story behind it, right? So yeah, like there's normally there's a narrative behind it. I try to have a narrative behind it. Except when there isn't, and in which case it's just like random stuff.
Right. Right.
How can I abuse the synth or the sequencer or whatever I'm doing? That becomes the goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And still making that sound nice.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Lamar?
So some things that you say like draws my attention to that. Are you dissatisfied, or are you in a place right now where you feel like you don't have enough game time, enough reps? Like, meaning, like, are you happy with the workflow or what you're putting out now, or do you just like fall back and go, I need to get better at this?
I'm always thinking about continuous improvement. So at the moment, I'm seriously considering of having to actually pick up an instrument because I'm sequencing everything. And like there's a certain amount of expression of things that I want to do that just take forever to program, or even just experimenting, like, oh, how does this chord progression lie out, or if I were just to play it out, like, people improvise, sort of thing, improv jams, like they really are, they do help that a lot. Whereas if you're just sitting in front of a keyboard going, okay, I've entered this thing, now I'm going to experiment with this, and you hear it and you go, that sucks. Now I have to go back and try something else.
Yeah.
Right.
And you keep reiterating over and over and over and over. I mean, that's normal creative process, but it's just on a door. It's just a bit more, takes you out of the zone. Whereas most people just play and they eventually find something that they can work with if they know their scales and tunes. Whereas I don't. So I've got a large knowledge gap,
Right.
which I always feel like I can always go somewhere. So I don't necessarily always feel comfortable where I am, if that makes sense. I always feel like I always can improve in some direction. I can always go somewhere or just experiment with something different.
And that's why I asked. So what do you think, like, what do you think your main focal point would be for an instrument, a hands-on instrument? What would you like to play?
At the moment, I would have to say piano, because
Right.
if you're doing synths and that sort of thing, it's much easier to just integrate it into the workflow.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I don't have. I've tried playing guitars in the past, not that I got very far, and it's a lot harder to then put into MIDI.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So keyboard would have to be it. And not to mention, I think also for the kids as well, there's just seeing somebody play stuff probably helps them as well.
Oh, yeah.
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 Tom, you got anything, Tom?
I want to piggyback off of that. My father is a musician, and I grew up in watching him. He's also an engineer, and I mean, there's pictures of me as a little kid playing with all the crazy stuff he had. He had a studio when I was really young, and it helped a lot. So I would agree with that. Seeing someone play something makes you want to play something. brought up wanting to play an instrument. A MIDI controller, there's plenty of them out there that can do keys and scales where if you're working in a project and you've already chosen some crazy mode or something like that, you can apply it where the keys will only be those notes. Really good way to learn to improv because you are locked in essentially at that point. Just a thought. I know my Arturia Keystep Pro does it. Novation makes a few that do it. They're pretty affordable too, so you can find some stuff out there. You've mentioned your inspiration. You're working in the box. You're working with soft synths. We talked about keys and scales. How are you choosing these randomly? Do you hear something and find out it's that key and go, I want to do that? That song in particular, like you're making a song that's kind of big and cinematic, and you expect to hear that stuff in major if it's triumphant and minor if it's supposed to be sad. You don't expect to hear it in such an interesting key. How are you getting there? Because it kept it very interesting and different.
That one is actually interesting. So to the background of that track, that's not the first time I made that track. It's like my third attempt at making that track. The first time I just only did it on the Syntac, which is basically a drum machine. And it was just basically the main riff came out of it because I was just randomly like going, oh yeah, this sounds cool. Hit play. Oh no. And so I didn't know what notes were on there. It was just like this is just randomly experimenting. The second attempt, I tried to do it more with like a proper sequencer kind of thing, and I still didn't know what I was doing. And so, as an experiment, I decided to grab the sequencer MIDI out of all the 4 tracks and put it into Live, into Ableton.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, what scale is this in? And I spent a good 2 hours trying to work out what scale it was in. And it ended up fitting in Messiaen 3. And I went, okay, Messiaen 3 it is then. I don't know what this is.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah. Which is funny because I have a whole book of scales, and Messiaen is one of the, I'm not sure, is it Messiaen, or I'm not sure if we're saying it right, but that's one of the things that I've saw outside of my comfort zone and go, this is a whole different scale tree. Right.
Yeah.
And of course, Messiaen's spelled with an A and an E next to each other in it.
Right.
Right. So you never pronounce. So you never know if you're pronouncing it properly. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one was basically it was, I was just trying to find the closest scale, and that was the closest scale. And then I took whatever was in the MIDI export, and then kind of like did it in Messiaen 3. In terms of picking scales, I had a nasty habit of starting at a scale and then modulating my way around different modes.
Okay.
I was like, now I'm gonna go. Just basically just keep modulating and modulating and modulating. I don't know why. I just like the fact that I can just swap the song around and change it differently. But that track took 3 attempts, and that was the last one.
That was pretty. That was pretty good.
Yeah, for 3 attempts. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, I bet the first one was just totally fine, and you just wanted to fine tune it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's trash. Believe me.
We'll be the judge of that.
Yeah.
Right.
We only got 1 probes in the community. We don't need
any more.
We
Yeah.
don't need another one. Yeah.
The other interesting thing was that that was the first track I did on the Kumite. And that was actually my first, as people would call it, like my first release track, because up until that point, everything I'd done up until that point had been etudes, nothing that I would put on Spotify or iTunes. And that was my first track. I went like, I'll take it, I'll refine it, and I'll submit it as the first week. So that was my first official kind of release track that I made.
Right. And kudos on you, because it takes courage to get out there and throw your music out there.
Yeah.
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 And the other interesting tidbit, which I told before, was this was the first. I think it was my first and only interaction with Inky, because she made a
okay.
She made a comment. It was like, it sounds like front 242. Very industrial.
That's wild.
Of course you would.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
And of course,
of course
she
you
met
would.
you.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, Inky's involved one way or another. Yeah.
Inky is always involved one way or
One
another.
way or another.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, that was just a.
Oh, this front 242. Okay.
Awesome. So our next song is Danza?
Danza.
Danza Cybernetica.
Yeah,
That's
it's
some
French.
nice name.
Am I saying that properly?
It's all right. No, it's just yeah.
No, it's not all right. If I'm not pronouncing it properly, Ayer, please correct me. How do you,
It's a butchered, like the first word is French for dance. So dance is very similar to dance, except it's Frenchified, I guess. And cybernetica is just like bullcrap.
okay, so how would you say it properly? The whole thing.
Dance cybernetica.
Yes.
Cybernetica. See?
Yes.
There you go. That
I
sounds so
already
much
like
better
it.
than what I
Yes.
said.
I mean,
Doesn't sound so cowardly now.
Right?
Yeah, it's,
jeez. with
low blow.
Low blow to it.
All righty. Here we go.
Your ability to tie a track together is quite unique. Um, and how do I word this?
Very careful.
With reckless abandon.
Right? Okay.
Proper vernacular.
Do you have a certain thing you start off with, a certain sound that, and I don't know your favorite BPM. I like to think a lot of us have a favorite BPM involved. But what I tend to do is start with one of my favorite sounds, no matter from what machine I have. I have a favorite sound. And I start there and kind of let the song evolve from what I'm accustomed to. Is there a signature thing that you just put in first and go, okay, this has never failed me. This is how I expand my tracks. Is there a catalyst to it all?
Yes and no. So like I said, mentioned earlier before, like I have templates, right? Templates help a lot with regards to sound selection, right? So I already have an established set of sounds that I can start off with, right? But from then on, that point onwards, it's just a matter of, again, what happens when I'm experimenting around with the different sounds kind of thing. That track in particular is kind of weird because it just came about because I was just messing around with stacked sounds and I went like, hey, this sounds like a really cool track to make or something.
Right.
And I think I'd used the same template for 3 different tracks at that point. One of them was Machine Cultist and the other one was Business Development. Mm-hmm. So they have the exact same sound sets. Mm-hmm. And
they don't sound like accidents,
right?
They sound very
well thought out.
Yeah. So when I first started I had an idea of making a track that was based on the Danse Macabre. Have you heard of that one?
No.
It's the dance of death. Usually in medieval symbology of 2 dancing skeletons or skeletons playing music following each other. Hence the image on the track at the moment is 2 robots dancing there, and the track subtext is even metal turns to rust and everything returns to dust. So it's like even if you somehow think you're going to escape entropy, it will still get you. That was the philosophy behind the track.
Entropy meaning chaos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the track, I quickly had an aim of making something that was danceable, unlike my other tracks, which tend to be not very dancey. So I was aiming for a dance track. I wanted to be dark cyberpunkish, and I wanted to be trancey in a way, so a lot of repetition and more on the bass kind of thing. So in terms of things that I start off with, it's usually I try to work out a toolkit of techniques, right? Like how do I lay down the bass, and how does that bass then get layered with other harmonics on top of it, so that it gives me the starting feel of what the track should be like. And then I move to atmospherics maybe. And then I use the other parts as highlights, like the high pitch, more of the melody gets added in later as the rest of the track kind of develops over time.
Okay.
And usually when I don't I don't have a particular goal in mind, if this makes sense. So I normally have a starting point, but I have no idea what the sound what it will come out with.
Right.
Only after moving forward a couple of steps, like a couple of bars down, do I have an idea of where I'm going with it, and then I try to keep within that theme, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And sometimes I just make loops and sections which aren't in the track at all, but then I might find that a certain thing came out of it, and I might just reinterpret it in a different way, or I might just slice the track all together and rearrange it in a different way so it fits more within what's there, and so it fits tighter together, I guess.
I need to know more about Air on the side note. What were you listening to real quick growing up? Like what was the influences? I need to know how you got here to this particular genre.
Oddly enough, I started listening to Latin American music.
Oh wow!
Of
Really?
course. Oh, why wouldn't you?
I'm from Chile.
That's a good
So-
decision, Air.
So I'm from Chile. So a lot of the stuff that my dad used to play, because he used to bootleg Nueva Canción music because it was illegal at the time. And classical, along with some 80s synth pop that you get on radio. When I got to Australia, I kind of started listening to like things like more alternative bands, and then eventually I just started listening to industrial. Industrial trance. And recently, I guess, the cyberpunk genre, although, it's kind of hard to pin cyberpunk music now because it's not really a genre per se. It's like a vibe or a feel to it. It's a visual medium more so than a musical one.
That last track definitely says cyberpunk video game
Right,
to me.
right.
Yeah.
That's the one that we just heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a broad range of musical backgrounds: classical, Latin, industrial,
Yeah.
synthwave.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I can hear
and-
that throughout all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and especially this year, I don't know. I just found myself using trying to use a lot more Latin influences on it lately.
Good choice, Ayer. Good choice.
So, but
Tone, you have any questions or comments?
The fact that you're originally from Chile, actually, it's interesting because like the keys you chose in some of your songs felt jazz influenced to me. I mean, there's a lot of good jazz influenced, specifically like Central and South American Latin music. So that's pretty cool. Do you get into jazz at all, or I mean?
I do like listening to jazz, but my dad brainwashed me with tango.
Yeah.
Still a form. It's still a
Tango.
form.
Yeah, it's still a
Yeah,
form.
Still
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
I mean, he introduced me to Gardel, and his particular favorite was Piazzolla, Astor Piazzolla, which is this very jazzy tango style that he has. So
I love it. Love it. We have one more. And so I don't feel so bad now pronouncing this the way that I was planning on to, because I was like, when I see this, I'm
love
reading
this
it
one.
Pinto,
Yeah, Pinto Sani.
but it's probably not right. I don't know. Ayer, is that correct? Like Pinto Sonic?
it's more anglicized because the guy, it's Pinto Sonic.
Yeah. See? So that's the American version.
Right.
Pinto.
Anglicized.
Yeah.
I like the way you say it, Marilyn.
Yeah. It's American.
You make it
So I'm
sound like
it's
it's sexy.
Pinto.
Yeah, but-
Yeah, it's
But what he really said was it's more Anglo-Saxon than
Yeah,
it is.
yeah,
what
yeah,
you're-
It's more whitewashed than anything.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, for me, it's Pinto.
Oh, good old Western civilization, Marilyn.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, no. But I was like, let me just find out
Yeah.
how you pronounce
This
it.
was
'cause
submitted on a popcorn night.
Yeah.
It was. I remember this.
Yeah. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So here we go with how I am going to pronounce it. Pinto Sonic.
There you go. Okay, to me, it sounds like you were using one lead, and you added a couple of different arrangements with different instruments, and some in different octaves, and a couple different arps going, the real lush synth pads, man. Like, it just feels like sometimes I don't like to let the visuals that you put dictate how I'm gonna perceive this.
Close
sound.
your eyes.
But
Let those visuals do it.
it
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I get Miami Vice, I get Fantasy Island, I get Heart to Heart. Like, it just takes me back.
You get everything.
Right?
Yeah.
It takes me back to the 80s. And you know, when you do your arrangement, it's so clean. How are you, like, are you a fan of just creating a lead and then figuring, like, saying to yourself, now I wonder how this lead sounds in different forms from different instruments?
Yeah, I will occasionally do that. Sometimes I'll even, if I have a lead line and I'm not happy with it, I might split it and put it in different areas. Now, I actually, because this one's relatively recent compared to some of the other tracks, I actually do have a lot more working memory still stuck on my head, so I can explain a lot more details on this track if you want. But just a little bit of background context. So there was this other guy in the Kumite called, he called himself Pinto Sonic, and that's the name of the track. Apparently, on the last Kumite, he ended up in hospital for 6 months.
Oh no.
And nobody knew what happened to him.
Right.
And this is coming off the time period where last year, where one of my friends died of a heart attack, and then three months later, my dad died of cancer, and now in the middle of the Kumite, this guy just disappeared.
Right.
Wow.
Man, wow, man,
So-
that's rough. Sorry to hear that.
So I just thought, like, because just to explain, like, I don't know him personally that much, but he did have a very big impact, because when he came in late on the last one, not the one that just happened, but he came up with these synthwave tracks that are like, wow, these are pretty cool. So that forced everyone to go then up the game kind of thing.
Right.
So in that way, he pushed me in a direction which I didn't think I was going to go at. But that track, yeah, like I was really trying to I was trying to imitate his style, and in the end, I just gave up. I just decided to, like, I'm going to do a cruising track, like, a really retro synthwave, as much as I can aim it to be, like an insane kind of thing. And because he liked cars, I went with, put a car in it, a cruising track kind of thing.
Right.
In terms of that one, it was a refinement of two other tracks I'd done. So VHS Dreams and Shenzhen Runner.
Right.
So VHS Dreams was the first one where I used a tresillo as the main bass. So it's a 3-3-2 pattern. And then I did a slight habanero bass on Shenzhen Runner, again trying to do more of that South American vibe thing. And in this one, it's a refinement of those two tracks, so those two techniques. So I use a tresillo for the main melody, and kind of like a pulsing, not a driven bass that's constant 1/8, but rather like a pulsing off at certain intervals bass line for it. And then I went fumbling through my sound libraries, presets or synths or whatever I have available that sounded the most retro that I could find.
Right.
So in terms of chord progressions, I was trying to keep it steady to a couple of chords and not try to modulate as much like I tend to do in the past, or get stuck on a single key. Yeah, so and what was the other part? I went all crazy on drum syncopation, but I decided to pull it back and I only left it in for the chorus.
Mhm.
And this was kind of like the first track I've done where I've actually done a proper A chorus, B chorus, C section track to it. Whereas before I haven't been able to do them before. So
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say that what you did there with this last track, it so reminded me of the arcade game Burnout. It, just like my brother says, it's nostalgic. I love the track. It was right up my alley when I think of cruising and when I think of like the angle you're coming from. So for me, it was a mint track, and I would just want to say that you did a very good job with that track. And go ahead
I can
and
hear that.
pat
Yeah.
yourself on the back. Tone.
I really like the way you're describing your process because you're going at these things like in a very scholastic way, for lack of a better term. And with that song in particular, you mentioned you were just trying for a synthwave track, and like, yeah, you got there, you got the tones, no problem. What I really like that you did is that you took it on a very like a movement journey. Like think like Paul McCartney Wings movements, where the songs like they change and it didn't change, but like the parts change. Your chord choices for your sections, your as you called it a verse chorus type thing, are not what you expect from a synthwave track. I thought that was really cool, in particular for that song. Is, I mean, you said you were going for a verse chorus type thing, but are you thinking about that? Are you thinking about your? I mean, obviously, you're thinking about your chord choices. You're thinking about your structure choices. But did you realize you went outside the box that way with that song?
no, I didn't. It was, I think what had happened initially was is that because I've been trying so hard to copy a particular style,
Yeah.
I ended up just going, I'm just going to do it my way.
Right. Yeah. You, like I said, it was almost scholastic where
Yeah.
you picked a thing and you were like, I'm going to do this thing, and then you did it, but you did it very not the traditional way. Very you is a good way to put it.
Yeah. Because I try to do like, I'm going to do it in this way. And I don't know. I think I just ended up, I ended up giving up because like I almost threw the track out because I was going like, I'm not going anywhere with this. I'm trying to imitate something or it's just not jiving with me. Yeah. Like it's not great. And
Well, glad you didn't throw it away. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, it's
really
cool.
good. Yeah, it was a really
It really
good
is.
track. Yeah.
but yeah, so it was, in the end I went like, here's a theme, cars. I'm not trying to imitate him, and I'm not trying to copy the entire synthwave list of techniques and things like that. I'm going to do it in a different way. And yeah, I just took what I'd learned previously from the other two tracks, like when I was mentioning tresillos and habaneras and that sort of patterns, I decided to go with that and plagiarize myself from other tracks as well, where I noticed that
Or try not to.
it's like in one section I was kind of like going, I don't know what I'm doing, and I remember like I had this weird chord pattern that I did for it, and I went like, I did that for that track, and that might work here, and it did. The other part I tried doing was I was consciously trying to make it a little bit more syncopated. So, and every so often there would be, particularly on the second part, on right after the first chorus on the second part of the track, there's a part where one of the notes is slightly shorter than the actual loop, and so it slightly drags the melody forward
back,
again.
Yeah.
And I noticed that I did it, and I went like, "No, I'm doing this again." So
And only people with your level of IQ would have probably picked it up.
Right.
The layman's would have been like, "Oh, that sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?" Yeah.
And we are our own worst critic.
Yeah.
Yes, we
yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah. As artists, everybody is their own worst critic, regardless of what your art is.
Right.
You're always going to be your worst
Yeah.
critic.
It's a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Ayer, for coming on
Yes.
and being vulnerable to the questions.
There's still so much more left to explore. I
Yeah,
feel like
we can
just got
definitely
beneath
do
the dermis.
we can definitely do a part 2.
Yeah. Well, my part 2 really wants to be a podcast too. You know, because
Well, what do you think this is?
no.
He wants a
just
personal interview.
Oh, just like a generalized
in-depth,
interview.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Bio
yeah,
interviews.
Yeah.
what they would
Bio.
say.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
just a general interview
Yes,
of
yes.
somebody.
It-
Yeah.
well, I think for a lot of us, because there are a lot of people that we interview, they're such interesting people. You kind of want to know more about them and kind of get a better gauge of where they're coming from. So,
Right.
But yeah, Ayer, you have been one guy that we are always curious about. Not only your music, but your intellect. You are of a very bright and high mind. You have a fascinating brain, and we want to just thank you for being you and coming up with some very fantastic movie-driven music.
Yeah,
Right.
keep doing your art. And as of the recording of this, it is November 3rd, Ayer, and we are opening up Popcorn Night again on the 11th. So November 11th will be our first Popcorn Night after our 365
Nice.
challenge. So, Ayer, I expect a submission from you.
Ooh,
Good, sir.
a duel.
So I'll be.
He doesn't sound too.
He doesn't
happy.
sound too.
I don't care.
I think he just went.
I don't care. I will be looking out. It has to be under
Get
7
those
minutes.
guinea pigs turning there. She's not playing. You
I'm
better
not
come up
playing.
with something.
The return of
It's
AI.
the return of Popcorn Night.
Yes.
You
yes,
must be on it,
Yes.
Ayer.
Yes. Yes.
You have to.
What say you, sir? What say you?
It is a challenge, good sir.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing I already have a track on. It's almost
Oh,
finished.
there you
there you
go.
go.
See?
He's got one loaded.
See,
in line.
you're
Got
good.
one primed and ready.
He's
Yeah.
already got one
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
in the barrel.
All
Tell
right,
him
Tone.
any-
Any last? Yeah, I got him. I'll cover him.
Go do it then.
Hey,
shit.
you want to have an old Mexican
Nope.
standoff?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
No. Okay.
I
Tone,
like,
any last words?
yeah, I really like. I like where you're going. I like the fact that you're new to this and the way you go about it. I'm really interested in seeing how you progress.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, that's
problem.
so gross that he's kind of like new to this.
Yeah.
And he's that good.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He's
Like,
And he
excuse me?
And he's going about it in a very different way than
Yeah.
most musicians would. I feel
Yeah.
like. So.
Yeah, which that always, like, I'm always interested in that. Like, I know for the twins, people have always told them, like, well, you're so not how you write music. And I'm like, I love when people go outside of the box and don't, follow that yellow brick road to
Right.
here, and you have to do this, but before you do this, you have to do that. No, like, why can't you just go like far right to get
Yes.
to the same direction,
right.
or even far left to get to the same direction?
Press head being very notorious for that.
Yeah, you still get to your end goal.
There is a term for that. It's slipping my mind right
yeah,
now.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's slipping my mind too. But I love that.
Unorthodoxy
Just
style.
yeah,
Unorthodox
just very,
style, yeah.
very unorthodox with everything. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I love that. I would rather, for me personally, I would rather hear somebody do that than somebody following.
Like cookie cutter type.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
I think you get more character
Right.
out of it,
And something new.
Something
Yes.
new. And
Different approach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes accidents are the best,
Best
thing that
things.
happens
yeah.
in music.
Bob
yeah.
Ross always has happy
Yes,
accents.
he does.
Why can't we have them in music?
That's
right.
exactly right.
But
Yeah.
once again, thank you, Ayer. Thank you to all of our affiliates, the Synth Samurai and the crew of Misfits and the Renegades over there. They're a huge part of this channel. Thank you to Crazy Rabbit. Thank you to Upstate Downstate.
Thank
which
you guys.
He will be coming out with content on his YouTube channel shortly as well.
Yes, and Ayer's YouTube channel will be linked in the description, as well as our co-host Tone Smith with Upstate Downstate. It will be linked in our description. And with that, thank you everybody for joining
Thank
us.
you.
And have yourself a good day. And love your mom.
Also, hype the channel. This
Hype the
new
channel.
the new hype button is out. It's circulating. You guys, if you like what you see,
There's a new
subscribe.
button?
and hype this channel.
If we grow,
you grow, you know. All right, everybody. We'll catch you later.
Thank you, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.